You're listening to a Loot Dummies podcast, lootdummies.com. Welcome to Dungeons and Dragons and Dummies, a weekly podcast following a group of friends as they battle across a homebrewed world called Antiriath in Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. Step into the mystical world of Antiriath and follow as our party adventures across the lands. Solid Grug, half-orc fighter-sorcerer from the wretched valleys of Mekzim, played by Taylor. A Learlock Bloodhair, Harengon cleric whose fate seems determined by luck itself, played by Joey. Pomerel the Gatekeeper, Summer Eladrin paladin from the Feywild city of Solaria, played by Seth. And Body Not Greenleaf, the halfling rogue with a penchant for taking things that don't belong to him, played by Josh. And last but not least, the creator of our beautiful world, the man of many voices, and our dungeon master, Sam. And welcome back, everyone, to Dungeons and Dragons and Dummies, the podcast. And welcome back to the show. I have a very special announcement about today's episode. Stick around after the outro to listen to the first 20 minutes of episode 1 of our Patreon-only podcast called The Primal Lands of Amotria. The Primal Lands of Amotria is a very special campaign created and ran by me, Taylor, and it features Seth and Sam as our main two characters. However, we will have special guests appearing as their players' stories intersect with those of our main two characters. It's really fun. We're about 17 episodes in over on Patreon. Consider being a patron at patreon.com/lootdummies. That's LOOT dummies. Thank you so much for your consideration. In the last few episodes of our show, the party heads south out of the town of Pokarit, making their move towards Asijiski. They decide to head south first, hitting the town of Sithik, looking for survivors or info on what Zias' next move may be, and maybe some more detailed information about the exact location of his hideout. As we arrive in Sithik, we find the town under attack by bands of orcs and giant woolly mammoths who leave poisonous dust clouds in their wake. We get into a long, tough combat and are able to clear the threat in the town of Sithik. We meet up with the survivors that we can see. It looks like there's about a dozen of them, and they discuss heading towards Asijiski in a caravan. That is where we're going to pick up here as we decide what to do next with these refugees. Pomerel, meet our new friends.
Friends? Y'all make friends quite easy here in the material plane.
They're headed to Asijiski, the way we're going, so...
Oh, I've heard of this place. You spoke of it.
Yeah, where we're headed. How many people are in your caravan?
Looks like there's gonna be about a dozen of us. Does anybody know where Crom's at? Someone walks up and says, Crom didn't make it. Well, I think it'll be 11. About that time, Rixie comes up behind you guys, just like slowly following behind and kind of stands in amongst you guys.
Oh, hello, Rixie.
She doesn't say anything.
Talik, this is Rixie.
Hello. Do y'all mind if I follow along? I won't be much trouble.
Where else are you gonna go?
I don't know.
That's right. Come on.
Thank you.
Sunbeam, be nice to this lady. I think that may have been her husband who was cleaved in half, he says telepathically to the horse.
Oh man, total bummer. That sucks.
Pomerel says, so we're just going to walk with these people? Is that what a caravan is?
Yeah, dude, this just turned into an Oregon Trail roleplay, and I'm here for it.
Oh.
Y'all roll for dysentery.
Nope.
Oh my God. Get
Sorry,
out of
can't hear you. You're cutting out. My computer's locking.
That was actually pretty good.
We got to roll to ford the river.
Roll
Yeah,
for
I'm
hunting.
hiring the local natives for that.
I do not want y'all to think that this is a rail that I'm
No.
putting y'all on this road with these guys. Up to you guys what y'all want to do. I will say the town doesn't seem to have much to offer. It's been pretty much sacked and destroyed.
I was gonna ask, what is the caravan's movement speed per day?
So they've got some wagons and donkeys and horses and stuff, but they're only going to be able to travel 1 hex per day. There's some older people, and some people are going to be on foot.
That's a good question.
That's about what we were traveling before in this terrain.
On the road, you're able to do 2.
Oh, okay.
What about us in a wagon by ourselves? Like if we were to buy one from them?
I mean, you go the same speed as y'all are going on your mounts.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Y'all did some of that back in the old days.
Yeah, we did some wagon traveling with our cart.
The cart that's still at the guild hall, I think, or y'all left it in Okerjest.
Talik's gonna turn to the other guys and pull them away from the group, the caravan, and just say, "It's gonna slow us down to ride with these guys pretty considerably. What do y'all think? We need to get there as quick as we can, I guess, right?"
I guess we could go up in front of them and kind of scout for them in a way.
So have we already surveyed this caravan and determined that there was no fighters in this caravan?
Yeah, there's definitely does not seem to be any fighters. It all seems to be civilians.
Well, that's probably the logical option. I mean, they do need some allies potentially, but I don't think they're going to be of much use.
I'll walk over to the caravan and yell out and be like, "Any of you guys ever been to Asijiski? You know anything about where you're going?"
An older lady steps forward. She's like, "Yes, I went there. I went there on my honeymoon when I was young. That was a very long time ago, but I remember it being a wonderful place."
I turn back to the guys. One old broad, it's been there a long time ago. She said something about a honeymoon, or I tuned out. I lost interest as soon as she started talking, to be honest.
Jesus.
We used to spend summers down in Naples with Clarence.
Clevis.
Cletus.
So, Pomerel leans over to Body Knock and he goes, "How do y'all extract the honey from the moon?"
Bro, are you like, did you eat something?
I have not eaten all day, actually.
You need to then, I think. And I'm gonna lean over. I'm gonna lean over to Talik and say, "Hey, man, is he like okay?"
He's strange. He's just
Here on the material plate, as you call it, bees make honey, not sugar.
The same in the Feywilds. I was confused by the moon honey. Anyway, carry on.
what?
The honeymoon. Goodness gracious, guys, keep up.
Oh, the honeymoon.
Oh my.
Bless your
That went
hearts.
over my head. Not gonna lie.
Broke my brain.
Yeah, y'all didn't listen to her. The woman started talking, and y'all just went full misogynist.
Fucking dad joking motherfucker.
All right, I'm making a decision, guys. I think we ride up ahead and hope for the best.
The other option is just to kind of like get up in the wagons, hide the threat that is us, and only pop out and defend if needed, and maybe we could, I don't know, but that would slow us down.
It's like a reverse,
The old Trojan horse.
the old reverse ambush. Let them ambush because they don't know that you've got warriors.
I'm in for it. Let's do it.
The Troy clan and Maxim once pulled off a heist like that.
The Troy clan, eh? Oh, the Trojan card.
I don't know that we should use these nice people for bait.
Well, it's not bait per se, but if they get attacked, they're going to get attacked regardless.
We're on a time crunch.
New friends, farewell. We're not going to use you as bait, but if anyone attacks from the rear, you'll die. We're going to go up ahead now.
The holy lady's like, oh heavens!
And then he takes Rixie off the back of his horse and puts her down with the caravan.
She was just about to ask. Oh, she's like, oh, goodbye.
If I can riz them with the tism for a minute, the strategic disadvantage of scouting out front is exactly what he said. If somebody did want to fuck with them, their flank and rear guard is wide open and they could just let us pass, basically.
Well, I'm not necessarily too worried about these 11 people dying, if I'm honest. We've got to find Zias.
Fair enough. I was just wanting you to say it. I just want you to say it out loud.
Very pragmatic.
Hey,
It's 12
Fair
with
enough.
Rixie.
Anyways, we'll keep you guys safe. We'll do everything that we can. You're our top priority. And then I turn and look at Body Knock and I shake my head no. And a wink.
okay, let's roll.
Like, mouth it.
Yeah.
No, they're not.
You've sensibly talked me out of that.
Oh my god. Alright, so lay it on me. Y'all are going ahead, leaving these guys, but y'all are going to follow the road to
Follow the road to the
Asijiski.
mountain pass into Asijiski.
Okay.
Spirit of Shadow is so disappointed in all of us.
Shadow would have
He would be.
slowly walked with these guys as long as it took, healed their sick. Okay, it's the afternoon of the 19th. Y'all finished your travel for the day by getting here, so y'all can get outside and camp, but it is going to end the day.
What's this little hovel in the mountain pass? Do we know the name of that?
That is a border city called Veroni, and it is actually a giant city that is all just one big wall in between Asijiski and Romsverdi, kind of spanning the whole pass.
Okay.
Okay.
So, are we about to long rest? Because I need to do some spell management.
You may long rest. Yep, go ahead.
Okay. Make camp. I'll take first rest.
Classic. So
We are back on the hex shenanigans.
Back
we're
on the
back on the
road.
hex shenanigans.
But we're not hexing, technically, right? Since we're on a road.
Yeah, y'all don't have to worry about the risk of getting attacked, and you don't have to roll food and everything every day. You can just proceed along, and we'll fast forward, and I'll just make one roll to see if anything interesting happens along the route.
Okay, what's the weather like on the 28th of Frost?
The weather is phenomenal. I did actually already roll that. It's very warm for the winter. It's 65 degrees, sunny, no rain, no wind.
Wow.
I mean,
What a great
unbeatable,
day.
truly.
What a great day to Bibimbop down the road.
That's right, Bibimbop. Shout out
Bibimbop.
Korea.
Shout out Korea.
Shout out Korea. Okay, so let's see. So on the 20th, you guys go from that hex to that hex in the morning, and then continue on in the afternoon. You're kind of leaving this wide open field area where the grass has been, fairly long and dry here in the winter and blows in the wind, making swooshing sounds, and entering into a bit more mountainous area. Things are still pretty flat where you guys are at. It's kind of turning more into that dry, flat riverbed with hills on either side and just pine trees and cedars sprinkled around really craggy, rocky, mountainous terrain. Then on the 21st, y'all are fully in this pass. And in the afternoon of the 21st, you guys make it to the middle of the pass. And let me describe what you guys see as you start to approach this. Really, from a distance, it just looks like a wall that spans across miles as far as you can see in either direction. And so as you're going through, you come to this big wall, think Great Wall of China, and the road leads right up to an entrance. They've got a big portcullis, and there's people milling about on top of the wall, and there's actually quite the hubbub because there's a lot more than just people milling about the wall. As you approach along the road here, you run into a line of people at this entrance gate. I mean, we're talking hundreds of people all lined up in front of you to enter this place. What do you guys do?
Shit, we gotta get in. I'm not waiting in any line. Y'all got any ideas?
Pomerel's trying to see from their vantage point. He can see if there's any movement. Are there guards talking to the people? What can he see up at the front of the line?
Yeah. There's several guards standing around, kind of directing traffic, telling people where to stand, and keeping the line neat and orderly. They're actually kind of walking along the line, like talking to people. You can see people like pulling out paper and stuff, and like they're talking it over, and people are pointing them and sending them to different spots and stuff. But most of the people that aren't like right up against the wall are all just in this line waiting.
Does it look like they're letting people in?
Yeah, it looks like the line does shuffle forward every few minutes.
I suppose it's faster to go through the line than to go around this very enormous wall.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Is there a guard nearby that Pomerel can kind of call to?
Maybe not like immediately, but you can definitely get one's attention after a minute and call him back to you guys. Hey, everybody! He's kind of like shouting out things to everybody as he's walking up to you guys. He's like, remember everybody, have your papers ready, keep everything neat and orderly, we'll get you all through in no time. He walks up to you. Yes sir, what can I help you with?
We are no more important than any one of these number of people waiting to enter your great wall here.
Well good, glad we got that established.
We are in great haste. Do you know of a way that we can quickly navigate through or around the city so that we can catch up to these hordes of egregious creatures that are a foul blight upon this land and slay them with all of our might?
Wow, I'm not gonna lie to you, that was honestly a little bit inspirational, but right now we're just trying to get everybody through in the most orderly way. If I start letting you cut the line and stuff, it's just gonna turn into pandemonium. A lot of these people are really stressed out. They're saying they've lost their homes and that it's just chaos back there, so we're just trying to get them through. Going around is not going to be convenient. I mean, this thing spans from the mountain range to the north all the way to the one to the south, so you'd have to go into the mountains to go around. I think you're better off just waiting in the line. We're moving people pretty quickly.
Very well, very well. And let me ask you this, brave soldier. Do you know if the man or woman who rules this wall would be potentially willing to give us men to aid in our time of need when it comes time to have the final battle?
Look, I don't know about all that, but I doubt it. I mean, these guys are saying that they're pursued by a host of orcs and mutated beasts and all sorts of crazy stuff, so we're going to need every man here to defend this wall. The rumors are true.
We have killed most of them on this side of the wall. We're after the ones on the other side of the wall now.
There's not any reports of anything in Asijiski. All the reports are coming from Romsberdy.
I'm sure they went over the mountains.
I mean, maybe they did.
He reaches down and he locks his hand on the soldier in a gentle, loving embrace, and he casts heroism on the soldier and says, "Brave soldier, please get us through as quickly as possible."
What does heroism do?
He is imbued with bravery. He is immune to being frightened. And he gains some temporary hit points too, but whatever on that. He's immune to being frightened. And then Pomerel says, "I know you do not fear leading us through this throng of people, as we desire solely to pass through the wall and let them come in and gain shelter."
But we'll say that can remove any fear that he has about like what his superiors might say or what the other guys might say. But you still have to convince him that he believes your story and wants to do it. So make me a performance or whatever.
Persuasion.
Charisma based. Yeah, persuasion. That sounds great.
Okay. 24.
Ooh.
He's like, look, man, you guys seem like a pretty kitted out group. I don't deny that you're on some sort of mission, and I don't know, maybe you are trying to help us. Let me see what I can do. He says, come with me, just don't say anything, act like you're supposed to be there. And he kind of walks next to the side of the line.
And Pomerel takes on his greatest air of dignified royalty.
Elite levels of doucheness.
Elite levels of doucheness.
Elite levels of doucheness. Let me see here. Yeah, okay, yeah.
I motion to the other guys. Look, let's go. Pomerel got something.
Elite doucheness activated.
So you guys get all the way up to like right at the wall where the portcullis is open, and there's like a big line, 3 or 4 people wide on the left side, and they've got things pretty well under control. The right side is actually still open, but he turns around, he says, "You guys wait right here." He asks you to wait like right outside the wall. He steps inside. It's like 10, 15 feet. He goes and talks to somebody. You can see him talking. He's pointing back. The person that he's talking to seems to be his superior, and he's looking at him. He's just shaking his head. He's like, "No, no," and the guy's like clearly pleading his case. Finally, after a minute or two, the guy comes back. He's like, all right, y'all come on. He said, we'll move you to the front of the line. There's a spot just opened up. Just be quick about it.
Palmerell tells Sunbeam, I have no idea what is happening here.
Okay, so they usher you guys up to one of these tables. So as you guys enter in, it's 2 walls, but it's hundreds of feet wide. I mean, it's probably like 200 feet. You go from walking through one wall into a tunnel, essentially, it's got windows, on either side, but it's basically a stone tunnel with desks every, 8 feet or whatever. Think like a customs office. And so there's all these people standing at desks, and so as you're passing, people are like talking to them, and you walk up to a desk that doesn't have anybody standing in front of it. This guy's like, all right, you got any sort of documentation showing who you are, where you're coming from?
I'll show him the Confluence Guild writ that we have. Do we have any other kind of identification? I think that's all we have, pretty much.
Palmerell will show his pendant of Islanya and say, "This is this was given to me by Queen Islanya of the Eladrin peoples to travel across your plane of existence and slay your foes."
He says, all right, let me see that pendant. Let's see, the writ here has got a body knock. Who's body knock?
What's up, man?
Okay, all right, body knock. And Talik, Grug.
Yep, present.
That's you. Okay, who's Shadow? Is that you? Points to
No, that is
Learlock.
my prince, and I have been sent in his stead.
Okay, and is this your prince behind you?
No, Shadow that you mentioned.
Yes, quite.
So you are the prince, or you're not the prince?
He's the artist formerly known as.
All right, hold on. So Isolania, let me check my notes here, and he's like flipping through a book. He's like, "Did you say Solaria? Is that even, where is that located exactly?"
The Feywilds.
Oh, okay, all right. And as you're having this conversation, this old man walks up behind this guy and taps him on the shoulder. He's like, "Hey, I heard Captain Carlin was looking for you. Let me handle these guys. You go take care of that." He's like, "Oh, sure. Good luck. They're a mess." And that guard walks off. This older man steps up. He says, "Did I hear something about Confluence Guild Hall?"
Yeah, that's where we came from, me and this guy. Well, these 2 guys.
Oh man, that's a blast from the past. Me and the old guild master, we used to get up to some real nonsense back in our day. Says, Tormund Greybeard still the guild master there?
Is that the little guy we met when we got in trouble?
Yeah, little guy, little gnome guy.
Yeah,
About
yes.
this yay tall.
Yes, he's still there.
Oh, I knew it. I figured he'd outlive me by a century or more. Tell you what, as old favor to Mr. Tormund, I'll let you guys through. But you gotta do me a favor, alright?
Yeah, sure.
Next time you see that little shit, tell him Flynn Parchman said hi, and that he still owes me a beer.
Yeah, alright, we'll handle that. What was it again? Flynn Parchman?
Flynn Parchman.
Flynn
And that's
Parchman.
Flynn with an E, and no T on the Parchman. I'm not a piece of paper, alright?
Okay, Flynn, alright. What do you do here? What is this place? Is this a city?
Oh, welcome to Forani. Oh yeah, it's a crazy good city. I regret to inform you though, right now, we're just processing people through unless you live here. You can't actually go into the city proper. And he kind of points back. You see there's some doors just a little bit behind him that would open up to let you out into the city, and you can see through. They've got like grates on them, so you can see through into the city, and seems like a nice enough place, but hard to get a good vibe when it's all you can see through is a little sliver of it. He says, "Yeah, just help here with immigration."
You're doing a great job.
Oh, thanks, I appreciate it. Not as glamorous as running a guild, but it's sure a hell of a lot easier, that's for sure.
Morel looks over at Talik and he goes, I'm a gatekeeper.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
yeah, you are.
Oh, you
Y'all
are?
probably have a lot in common.
I bet
Oh,
we
yes.
do. If not just for our devilishly good looks.
My gates don't have weary travelers, though. The gates I protect have giant beasts.
Oh, yeah, one time we had a hippopotamus try to come through the gates. Boy, that was a story.
That sounds like it.
Well, I won't be keeping y'all any longer. Here, y'all can have your papers and your pendant back.
I appreciate it, Flynn.
Yeah, I appreciate you. And don't forget to tell old Tormund what I said, alright?
What did you say again? You want to kick him in the nuts and get him a beer? What did you say?
Yeah, that's good enough.
All right, we'll let him know.
And yeah, he waves you guys to pass on.
All right.
As you guys pass on through, you realize that there's like two directions to this. People coming in and people going out, and you realize that they're passing people by y'all to go all the way to the other side where people would normally be getting from Asijiski to Romsburdy. They're using that side to pass more people into Asijiski because nobody's really coming in from the other way.
Okay.
All right.
Exciting stuff.
Yeah, nothing better than a little paperwork role play. Yeah, so what are you guys going to do next? Y'all make it through. You are in Asijiski.
All right.
What episode is this going to be?
2 years
Probably
later.
134 or something like that.
2 years since you learned about the Talk Jocko.
The Talk Jocko.
2 IRL years.
And I actually think that's a great place to call it. We'll figure out what y'all are going to do in Asijiski next.
Investigated old Harv Holfed.
The old taco jockey.
The old... Ooh, what? That's a euphemism.
That sounds racial. I'm not sure if it is, but it sounds it.
My God. It sounds like a slut. A taco jockey.
Oh my God.
Or like a man
That's what I
slut,
thought.
really.
Yeah, like a man whore, a taco jockey.
Can't get enough of him to be the taco jockey.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah,
Mhm.
brother.
I cannot
Alright.
believe we are in Asijiski.
I'm excited.
Right.
We've been fantasizing about it since
Someone has.
Hope it lives
2022.
up to your
What
fantasies.
happens in Asijiski stays in Asijiski.
That's right.
I've been fantasizing about somewhere else.
Where do you fantasize about?
A continent we know nothing of.
Oh, the continent to the south?
The West.
Oh, to the west.
It looks terrifying in the best way.
It's a pretty harsh place. It's
Where the Westerlings live.
Oh no, no, I don't want to go there. Change my mind.
the westerly. Oh, from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. Change
I
my
mean,
mind.
honestly,
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 a canon race of people in that Western continent.
honestly. No, it's
Honestly,
like oddly well defined for how harsh it is. Like some of these places that aren't as harsh actually have less, like more openness that I can flexible. But that one's like oddly well defined.
well,
Yeah.
I will say
Well, that
I
was
thought we
good.
were going to be at that wall for a much longer period of
Yeah.
time.
That was efficient.
That heroism was sick. Super creative.
Yeah, that was
Thank
very
you.
fun.
Almost
Yeah.
inspirational.
Almost.
Oh my God.
Is that as bad as asking if we level up?
No. He said the guard said that's almost inspirational.
Almost inspirational.
Oh. I thought you were doing something else.
When I was prepping this session, I was like, oh shit, what if somebody revived Horner? And that's why I realized that I needed to like make sure that I had art for them and everything in case y'all decided to do that and you would get inspiration for it. But no, instead you carried her off like a sack of taters.
He was cut in half.
He was cut in
Two
half.
pieces.
You can
Two
revive
pieces.
people that are cut in half
Oh.
I don't think
I have
so.
no idea.
with
I have no
regular
idea
revive.
either.
Doesn't do it. It has to be like true resurrection or something.
I think so.
Uh,
I mean, you're the DM, but I think so.
no, I would have read Revivify first. I just didn't read it
Nor
before the
can it
session started.
restore any
Not
missing
something
body
a
part.
Jedi would teach
Oh
you.
yeah, you can't restore a missing half of your body.
No.
Wow.
I mean, what if
Bummer.
you have both halves though?
Oh yeah. Oh, that's a good question. Can you stick them
I
together
don't know the answer to that.
and then cast Revivify?
You
And
can
they
heal
sew back.
giant axe wounds and stuff, so yeah, maybe.
Yeah, but this is like a severed limb.
That's like that
Kinda.
parody movie where they're telling the guy that his wife is split in half by the car and he's asking which half is still alive.
Oh yeah, that's one of the scary movies, right?
Yeah. The parody scary movie series, I think. Yeah.
I think it's the
I just
first.
don't
I
know
think
if
it's the
first
second one.
Oh my gosh.
Sweet Jesus. The conversation gets dark fast. Somebody's like, mending might work on dead bodies since they're now considered objects. The mending cantrip to mend them together and then cast Revivify. Oh, that's so
Oh
fucked
my
up.
gosh. Wow.
Find out what happens to our party next week. Check us out at dndndummies.com. And please leave us a rating and a review on your podcast app. It would mean the world to us. Venture into the primal lands of Amotria on an epic D&D journey with your hosts, Seth, Sam, and your Dungeon Master, Taylor. Okay. We have got our characters rolled up. Sam, the wizard, and Seth, the barbarian.
Ooh, I'm a wizard. Like Sam.
You're a wizard, Sam.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the same. Yeah, there you
I
go.
know, you need that second.
Yeah, need a second syllable.
You're a wizard, Sammy.
No, yeah, salami.
All right. I want to set the scene. I want to bring you into the world of Amotria, and we're going to set it up and get it rolling right here. We're going to meet our characters and find them in the world that they inhabit. Y'all are going to have to really put on your listening caps, okay? This is a major lore dump incoming.
Lore dump.
Lore dump incoming. Welcome to the world of Amotria, a fantasy world inhabited by your standard races of fantasy folk, a world with sprawling continents, diverse landscapes and ecosystems, and your classic pantheon of gods and goddesses. Our story will take place on a giant continent in the middle of the world called the Primal Lands. The Primal Lands are almost entirely inhabited by dozens of different tribes consisting of various animal folk humanoids. Most of the tribes are comprised of similar races of people, or races that one would normally find existing together in harmony in the world. The Primal Lands are totally devoid of humans, elves, dwarves, giants, or any of the other classic fantasy D&D races. Those races mostly inhabit other continents and islands around the rest of Amotria. For hundreds of years, tribal warfare has taken place between the different animal folk tribes. 30 years ago, a tribal peace treaty was signed. Representatives from all of the major animal folk tribes met in Rabbiton, a centrally located town in the desert near the middle of the continent. The representatives either were or became de facto leaders of each tribe. This treaty offered the opportunity to open trade lines between all of the tribes of the Primal Lands. It also helped integrate the peoples of the different tribes in the continent. Soldiers could fight alongside their once bitter rivals. Laborers could move around the continent in search of more lucrative work. Some areas became more prosperous based on the natural resources of that area or the ingenuity of their peoples, and other tribes struggled to adjust to the new political landscape. We begin our story on the edge of a dense rainforest jungle, rising out of the eastern banks of the Jade River in the far northwestern part of the Primal Lands. We see a caravan of 2 covered wagons being pulled by horses, moving along a dirt path on the edge of the Jade River. On the lead cart, we see a grung warrior in the driver's seat. Grungs are a type of tree frog folk who mostly inhabit an area called the bog. This grung that's driving the cart in the front, we see a bow strapped over his back. He's draped in different various animal furs, and he's adorned with gold jewelry. He holds the reins and plods along. Right behind him, we see a bullywug, which is a large toad-like creature, driving the second cart, dressed in full plate armor with a great axe at his side. In the grass, just off of this path, we see a small fox person sitting in a clearing, boiling water for a bite to eat. Sam, describe what your character looks like for us.
You see ruddy brown-haired ears poking up above a well-manicured coat of fur, and as he turns around, you see these piercing black dot eyes with a red wreath iris around it that's at the same time inviting and a little bit, not intimidating, but intense. Very intense, yet inviting eyes. He wears a sly smile on his face and white fur on his neck and, inside of his paws and stuff like that. He's wearing a very dapper suit for being out in the middle of nowhere. And he's got a little tie, but like bolo tie sort of thing around his neck. He's wearing boots, unlike some of the less civilized animal folks. He's got boots on, and he's got a little cane sitting next to him. And if you look real closely, you'll notice a tiny little white head of a mouse poking out of his coat pocket. Did I ever say the word fox?
I said it, yeah. I think you did too. Yeah, you're a fox person. Or a fox folk or whatever. What are we going to call it?
Kitsune is what most people go with, from
Sure.
what I can tell.
Okay.
Even though that, brings up very specific spirit animal vibes.
Sam, you see the carts about 40 feet away from you and approaching you on the dirt road, kind of to your 10 o'clock. You're off in a clearing. They have not seen you yet.
Are they like closed carriages? Can I see what's inside of them?
They are closed carriages. Think like classic Western covered wagons.
Okay. Do they look like they might be someone wealthy?
You definitely notice. What is your passive perception, since they're not trying to hide or anything?
Pretty good.
I bet it is.
It's a 12.
It's a 12. Yeah, you definitely see that the guy in the front, the grung, the kind of more lithe tree folk looking ranger type, he's got like gold earrings on his ears. He's got gold bracelets, gold rings. He's definitely showing off a little bit of wealth.
I'll stand up and dust off of a hat and put the hat on and say, "We're up, Laurel," and step out a little bit into the road and kind of wave my hand as if hailing a cab and be like, "Oh, excuse me.
Whoa,
Fine folks.
Whoa.
Oh, apologies not to take up too much of your time here. I just couldn't help but notice on this dreary day we're having that you might need a little pick-me-up and thought I might offer my services."
So what's your name, stranger?
My name's Friendlin Cornelius, but my friends call me Freddy. If you don't mind, I'd love to give you and your lovely patrons here a little show. And as he says that, he flickers a little magic out of his fingertips, some little sparks up in the air.
Step aside. We're on official bog business.
Oh, of course. I wouldn't want to slow you down at all. And he kind of steps to the side and lets them start going.
They kind of start plodding along.
He says, but hold on. I do wonder, would you really want to tell your host that they missed out on an opportunity to meet the Friendlin Cornelius?
Make a persuasion check.
Okay. As I do, I kind of like brush the hair out of my face and actually cast the cantrip Friends, which gives me advantage on all charisma checks directed at one creature of my choice that isn't hostile for up to a minute, as long as I keep concentrating on it.
Okay, sick. Okay, yeah, so roll it with advantage.
Okay. Oh, thank good. One of them was a 1. The other was a 14 plus persuasion, so that's a 17.
So the Grung, he stops the cart again, which causes the cart behind him to stop, and he kind of looks over at you and gives you a little bit of a sly smile, and he reaches his hand out like to pull you up on the cart with him.
Oh, excellent. I grab his hand.
Friendlin, was it? Name's Drop.
Durop?
This here is Narib, and you see a wizard-looking Grung poke his head out of the covered wagon that he's driving, and he's really wild-looking. He's got like almost looks like a shaman. He's got like dangly earrings and like feathers and
Oh, nice.
like a colorful robe. He's very flamboyant, and he just kind of gives you a nod. He goes, "Friendlin, I like the cut of your jib. Hop on."
Oh, excellent. And he'll let go of the guy's hand that he was getting up on the front, and he'll go into the cabin and go to open the cabin up and get in.
That is unless, of course, you'd prefer to ride with Blep back there. And he motions to the bullywug, and he kind of like snickers.
No, it seems much more comfortable in here. And he'll duck in and take his hat off.
A civilized man, I see. And he gives a little pop
Is
of the
there anyone
reins
else inside?
No,
or just the one guy?
Just the one guy back there, Narib.
He'll sit across from him.
He just kind of looks at you. He's kind of strange looking. He's like one of those tree frogs that has like the hypnotic eyes, you know, the weird kind of like spirally pupils. He's brightly colored. He's got purple spots, and he's a green tree frog with purple spots and these crazy eyes and all these strange adornments. And the cart start back up, and they start moving towards the path that leads right into a extremely thick, misty jungle.
After a minute, the driver is gonna realize that I used a magic spell, and it says that he might become hostile when he realizes that I used magic to influence him's mood.
All right, so we're gonna cut over right now. We're gonna pan over deep into this same jungle, right at the edge of the Jade River. We see an area called the Jade Mists. It's a think Amazon rainforest. I mean, thick. You can barely cut your way through. You can't see more than 50 feet ahead of you. There is a dirt path that is cut, and right at the edge of the jungle, when the carts are approaching, we see 2 lit torches, and we're going to cut all the way deeper into this jungle, and we're going to see, shrouded in the mist, a beautifully constructed temple. It's got intricate carvings and drawings adorning its walls, mostly depicting great battles between tiger folk warriors and other tribes of animal folk from around the continent. Inside the walls of the temple, we see a large square courtyard. We see a group of tiger folk doing martial arts. We see several different small groups sparring in different parts of the courtyard, but right in the middle, we see a dozen more tiger folk doing synchronized routines as an old tiger man stands in front of them, hunched over, leaning on a whittled wooden cane. Think like a Master Splinter type character. He's a white Siberian tiger. He's got long whiskers. He gives an occasional whispered instruction as a mix of monks, fighters, and our second player, Seth, practice their martial arts. Seth, why don't you describe what your character looks like, what kind of gear he's got at the moment?
So he is large. He's not the largest that you see, but he is standing at an even 7 foot, weighing in at a brawny 245 pounds. He's not your standard tiger that you would think of when you think of the animal, but as a tiger folk that lives in the jungle, he is got a lot of black and a lot of deep brown hues to him, with a lighter streak of fur on his chest. He's wearing pretty simple barbarian style vest with just some pants on, and he's holding a little war pick hammer in his hand, and he's kind of just watching everybody spar. He's not engaged. He's thinking about what he's been tasked to do.
So as you sit on your mat, cross-legged in this courtyard, your teacher, the old white tiger that you see kind of instructing everyone, he slowly approaches you. He's kind of hunched over. He walks towards you slowly, and he places a hand on your shoulder. Phineas, to my chambers, please. And he starts to walk out of the courtyard to his office, basically, his room inside the temple.
Phineas, being very young, in his early 20s, kind of begrudgingly begins to follow, but at the same time you can tell he has an air of pure raw athleticism as he just glides behind his master while trying to seem indifferent.
So as you walk into your master's chambers, his name is Sterling the Tranquil. Which that was my Easter egg, because he's named in the same
Sterling the Tranquil
convention.
Class. It's Seth style.
As Seth's style character. So Sterling the Tranquil, he walks in and you walk in behind him, and he shuts the door slowly. Everything he does is very slow and calculated. And he sits down cross-legged on his pillow. It's this kind of patchwork, like sari type pillow with all these different colors sewn together. And he drapes his small little splinter of a cane across his lap. And he speaks and he says, Phineas, times here in the village, in the Jade Mists, they've gotten tough, as you know. There's less food and supplies to go around. Our reputation as isolated warriors has hurt us now that trade routes have opened between the tribes around the continent. The times are dire. The rest of the villagers that we protect and provide for, they struggle to survive meal to meal, and supplies have gotten low. And there's a great city to the south in the desert called the Bog. It's a land of much different folk than you and I, cold-blooded and amphibious folk. And they have sent a message to me and to the village that they're sending representatives here to the temple tomorrow to find warriors to join their great army that they're assembling in the Bog. It's a great opportunity for our village to keep us afloat. I know that we've mostly survived on our own here with the old ways, but it's something that I would like to ask of you. I would like you to represent the village. They have enough gold to send back to stock our entire temple, as well as help the others in town. They will pay you a living wage as well, and I think it gives you an opportunity with your unique gifts to represent our people. I know that you've always had a little bit of an anger issue, but I believe that as you grow older in these experiences, you can harness this anger and this rage to be a fine soldier and represent all of us here. And as he says that, you know, obviously you have a lot of respect for this guy. I mean, you kind of live in this society where you have elders and this and that. And as he speaks, he stands up and he walks over to a shelf behind him. And you see that he grabs an item.
This whole time, Phineas has just been doing just kind of low growl grunts and recognition, and now he's kind of got one of his ears tweaked over, and he's got his cat eyes looking. He's like, "The hell's this old man doing?"
So you see that he stands up and he grabs this item, and it's something that you know well in this village. He grabs this 7-foot long war pick, and it's made of polished iron. The head of the pick is shaped exactly like a giant tiger's paw. It has 4 talons sharpened coming out on one end. The back is a rounded, blunted end. And the paw and the pole are inlaid with gold trimmings. So you've got gold tiger stripes running around the pole and running all around the fist of the pick. And the pads that would be the pads of the foot are made of these giant green inlaid jade gems. I mean, this thing is beautiful, and you recognize it. It's like something that gets passed down throughout the chiefs of your tribe. So Sterling the Tranquil, I mean, he's had this thing for as long as you've been alive. You're a younger member of the village, and he continues to speak, and he walks over to you and says, "And as a symbol of your sacrifice and your dedication to the village, I want you to take this with you." And he hands it to you.